Hey, it's your boy Iceberg, and if you like videos like this, smash that like button. See you at the end. So yours truly finally make it up to the New York City flagship, up in the Rockefeller Center, right? And I get outside, and of course there's this immaculate display out there, right? And I say to my friend, I really don't have to worry about too much because nobody's gonna notice me, right? And a guy gets off the phone, and the first thing that came out his mouth was Iceberg. So I'm like, who in the world knows me as Iceberg up here in New York City? I look up, and it's Woodles, my friend Woodles from Instagram. And he just went and got his stuff and everything, tells me about that, I go in, my eyes are going to be everywhere. This store is very immaculate, right? And he wasn't lying. The first thing you see when you get past security is this Lego tree. Now I'm going to pause this image for a moment. Everything about this tree is so magical, right? It is beyond anything that you've ever seen, any Lego creation you've ever seen. All kinds of colors. You got all kind of organic shapes coming out of the center of this masterpiece. I mean, it is like larger than life that I can't even speak of it. It's just so immaculate. I mean, if you look up to the ceiling, the tree goes all the way up to the ceiling. You look down on the ground, there's more Lego parts of the tree on the ground. There's Lego inside the floor. This tree is just larger than life. It's growing everywhere throughout the store. Just truly a miracle or a wonder. So of course, the Avengers in the house. You have Captain America, Thor, and Iron Man. You got my man Steve Rogers bouncing off the taxi. Thor's jumping off the building. You got Iron Man floating through the air, and of course, Spidey is swinging from the rafters. Let's talk about how they snuck the skyline of the Avengers Tower in the New York City skyline, right next to the Empire, right next to the Statue of Liberty. Of course, you got Tony Stark flying through the city like always. Now, of course, these builds are going to be clean. They're done by professionals, right? But the lighting on this, and just the amount of lighting to actually get a realistic look of these buildings, of the skyline in New York City, is just superb. I really felt like they really captured the essence of New York City. Of course, I had to jump in for some photo ops. Here's me and my man Brooklyn Bricks in the cab hitching a ride. And here's me on the park bench with the Incredible Hulk, of course. Every time you look around the room, there's some type of display, a Lego display that you can, pose an op, or, it just felt like you were in the city or in the heart of New York City, as you can see. Of course, this is emulating the subways of New York City. And New York City is big on firehouses, so there's a firehouse right there. And they split this thing. If you take a look, one side is the firehouse and one side is the Ghostbusters, but they also pay homage to the Broadway billboards. Like if you ever walk down Broadway Street, you'll find all kinds of billboards of musicals and movies and top tier shows and everything, and they actually caught that. And let me remind you, this is Lego, folks. This is like Lego and lights, so they're definitely bringing in the magic. So as I make my way up the stairs, I see Slimer followed by the Empire State Puff at the Ghostbusters house. Now this is so awesome. This is Lego, folks. And it's a wonderful, immaculate, magnificent creations inside this flagship store that are screaming, nostalgic everywhere. So I almost didn't get my custom minifigure. It was down at the end of the day, my fault. I didn't know you had to make an appointment. I didn't know, and so it wasn't going to happen. But my friend went over to the store manager and asked him, "Hey, look, you watch Lego Masters?" And he's like, "Yeah." Said, "Well, you got one of the one of the guys right there. He's trying to make a minifigure. He's right here in your store. You need to let it happen." And so the manager comes over. He takes my order and everything, all my bags and everything that I had, ready for to buy and everything. He adds that minifigure to my pile, and he walks me over to the kiosk. Right. So now I'm in front of this kiosk making my custom minifigure. All thanks to that dude Brendan, because he didn't have to do that. He didn't have to do that at all. In fact, they could have passed on me easy. And nothing would ever came of it. But I shout out to him for actually making that experience enjoyable for me. So this is what I was after. As small and minute as you can see as it is, of course, it's a minifigure, but it's a minifigure that you make with inside the new flagship Lego store in New York, right? You can't get this anywhere else so far, not that I know of. So I go there just to get this. Of course, I went and bought a whole lot more Lego. And before we open this, let's get to some other stuff. So of course I went and bought the Lego Adidas shoe, of course, and of course with that you get this here cool poly bag or poly box with the gift with purchase right here, right? Once you've reached that threshold. And of course, we also got the Lego store gift with purchase, thanks to my man Brendan who hooked it up. But let's get back to the Lego minifigure factory, right? So you actually are able to choose the torso, right? You customize your torso to kind of customize your minifigure, right? The head and all the accessories and stuff. Of course, that's, you're digging through the chuck pile a lot to, get the right head or the right pants that fits your torso, to fit you, right? And so I came up with something. Here we go here. Cool little packaging here with the Lego Mini Factory right here. It's pretty cool, right? So you go to open this up, and bam, there I am right there with the magnifying glass in my hand. Now, my profession is law enforcement, right? And so, so I had to get a little innovative and have a guy, this is my spying glass right there. So I had to, get a little innovative. Yeah, it says security. That was the closest to police that I was going to get. But here you have a 1x3 brick. It says Lego New York. And of course, my name is Mel. So I have my name on there, printed on there as well. So the torso is printed, right? So I had to actually search for some pants, search for a head, and maybe an accessory right here. But I wasn't too kind of like happy with the head. I was torn in between, right? I was trying to get a little icy. Yours truly was trying to get a little icy. So I was like a little bit torn in between, the ice head right here and the actual regular head here. So I actually got them both. I actually swiped them both. Shame on me, right? But I couldn't decide. So I think I'm gonna go with this head right. Granted, I have my own sig fig, but this would constitute as, your sig fig because you personally made this, right? Not too bad. Yeah, not too bad at all. It was a great experience. We want to give a shout out to Brendan who actually made this happen. Alright folks, that was my trip. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. See you next time.